Hey everybody, I'm Matt Farrell.
And I'm Kristen Rochelle, and this is Cheaper Than Therapy.
Man, episode number 2, we're really excited about getting this one underway. Our first episode, I was really happy with. I felt like we got quite a few views.
Yeah. You're not having a stroke, are you?
I'm just tongue-tied.
He drank a lot before we even started talking.
It got quite a few views right out of the gate. I was really happy with the way it kind of performed, right away, which is not always the case when you're doing something new.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a dynamic duo like this, it's gonna be successful. She's on a booster seat.
I am on a booster seat.
I just looked. I was like, shit. Now you're 2 inches
taller than you.
Yeah, I need better posture anyway. I guess just sit up straight. Anyway, hey, I was sporting this too. Let me show this off. A good friend of ours, Anthony Spencer. We just started booking for him today. It's something that Kristen and I do as well. We're talent managers. We handle a couple of different talents. And we've just picked up Anthony Spencer today. I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited about that too. He's a pretty good guitar player.
Man, he's really good.
And he's been kind of booking all over lately.
He has, and he's been doing it all himself. And I think it kind of got to the point where he was like, all right, this is a lot.
Yeah.
I need some help. So he reached out to us, and we're really excited and feel grateful that we got him. But today is about you and I hanging out and drinking.
And talking about our problems and the things that we find interesting.
It's even more fun to talk about other people's problems.
Oh my God, it is. It's a lot more fun to talk about other people's problems.
Yeah. Here's something I wanted to ask you about. Okay. And it's nothing too personal or anything. So I'm just curious.
Uh-huh.
Are you waiting?
I'm ready.
Is the build up?
You feel like
it's something serious?
Yeah.
What's the dumbest movie you've ever seen?
Oh my God. There has been a ton of those. So Samurai Cop is at the top of that list. And if you have not seen Samurai Cop, you have to go watch it. It is so bad that it is so good.
I've never even heard of it. Who's in it?
I can't remember who's in it. It's people, look it up. It's people that aren't famous. But it is hilarious. And then there was, and I have to get my phone for this, and I don't get a good reception in the studio, but there was a really funny 80s movie. It was a horror movie. It was a rock horror movie.
Samurai Cop, 1991.
Oh, it was 91.
Matt Hannon, Mark Frazier, Melissa Moore, Robert Zadar. I don't know who any of these
that
people
Robert Zadar guy was the director. It's a really bad movie.
I don't know who any of these people are, though. They don't even look familiar.
None of them were famous actors.
It's a really bad movie, huh?
Yeah,
but you're still
horrible.
Recommending it to people?
All right. Rock and Roll Nightmare Final Battle. That one. Have you seen it?
No, but here's
the picture.
I question.
It's 80s rock and roll nightmares, though.
I question your I would never even click on that to watch it.
That's what I do all day long. I told you my search history is strange.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I want to say, here's a movie that was really dumb, but I loved it.
Okay.
It was Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, with Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. Oh, my goodness. And
did you ever see that?
I did see it. I tried to forget about it. Pretty much anything Kurt Russell was in the 80s.
You don't like
tried
Kurt
to
Russell?
Forget about. No. Kurt Russell was also in, was he Snake Plissken or something? Snake Plissken, that movie?
I don't know that one.
Return to New York, or
was that Battlefield New York, or
was that
something
what he was
like
Snake Plissken in? I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a Kurt Russell aficionado.
You're really not a Kurt Rusell fan?
I'm not.
What about like Tombstone when he played?
Okay, did like Tombstone, but mainly I like Tombstone for the reason everyone else liked it. It was Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. Yeah.
Which is okay. The Wyatt Earp story, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Do you put Tombstone as the best movie ever about that time?
The new Tombstone, I do. It's not historically accurate, however.
Right.
There's some things in it that aren't accurate, but as far as a new Western goes, because we don't get Westerns every day, it's not something people put out, that was probably one of the best new Westerns.
Yeah. I would say, as far as like the Wyatt Earp and the Doc Holliday and all that, Tombstone was the most entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner was way more historically correct.
Yeah, it was a little bit more historically correct.
Like Doc Holliday was not a charmer.
No, but I have to tell you, if you've read Gone with the Wind, you've seen Gone with the Wind, Rhett Butler was modeled after Doc Holliday. Now, Doc Holliday was Margaret Mitchell's cousin way down the line. She's the author of Gone with the Wind.
Really?
So if you look at Rhett Butler's characteristics and everything about him, you get a really good idea of who Doc Holliday actually was.
Really?
Yep.
Aren't you a damn historian?
I am.
I would not have known any of that.
Well, you
I don't know that I've ever seen all of Gone with the Wind.
You haven't? Who has
Maybe
not
a Bad
seen
American?
all of Gone? I own Gone with the Wind DVDs and records. I have like the motion picture soundtrack.
You know what a favorite DVD that I own?
What?
Damn, I just drew a blank. Mel Brooks.
Is it Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing
There you
Saddles.
go. I
That's
drew a
an
blank.
awesome movie.
Have you ever... They couldn't make that movie today.
No, they couldn't.
People would get killed. But I watched an interview with Mel Brooks, and he said that he made that movie because at that time in the country, that movie needed to be made. Because it made fun of everybody.
You made fun of every race, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, I did.
So and he said that's what the country needed at that time. Everybody needed to have you need to have a sense of humor because you're not nearly as serious as you're taking.
We don't have a sense of humor anymore. Can you imagine if somebody released that movie now? How like everybody would be pissed off, and I mean everybody. And there's more people of different orientations and types of genders now to be pissed off than there was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy. They'd set the country on fire if they released that movie.
Oh my God!
Nobody would. No studio would ever touch that movie.
Nope.
Now. It's crazy. Did you hear about? I know this is a little more in your line of work. Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen, yeah.
Like now, people are throwing fits that they let him back in, or they're playing him back on the radio.
Oh, well, they can get over that. Do you know, I can go through my Facebook news feed right now and pull up a bunch of white dudes that use that word.
Yep.
And they think, they think it's appropriate or okay. So our society, it just portrays it that way. Our society says this is okay. And we grew up in Lawton, people don't use that word in a derogatory sense, but they use it a lot. And there's no commotion, But it's just that he's famous.
Yeah.
It's just that he's famous that happened.
He's in the spotlight, which gives him a target.
Right.
It gives their complaint more traction. And I hate that our country is like that.
I hate that too.
Find something to be happy about instead of looking for something to be pissed off about. People wake up every day looking for a reason to be mad.
They do. They actually
It's
do
sad.
nowadays.
I hate that. I hate it.
Was the 80s a much happier place?
Well, we were kids in the 80s, so we really didn't give a shit about anything. As long as we got something to eat and we had a place to lay down, we didn't care.
Do you know how not serious the 80s was? I mean, look at the music in the 80s. All of the hair metal bands. Like
Twisted Sister and Kiss. And
Cinderella.
Oh, my God. Whitesnake.
Whitesnake. No, Whitesnake was good. I like
They were all good.
Snake.
They all of them have a song that if it came on right now, people who have never listened to that genre of music, they would know that song.
Maybe that's the unifying thing right now is a bad 80s song.
It could
That's
be.
what we need.
It could be. The 80s were great. The 80s were great. There was, besides the crack epidemic and
The HIV epidemic.
Yeah, the AIDS epidemic. And other than those two widely spread killers, everything else was great.
I want the hair to come back. Like, maybe I should just start doing it and not ask anybody.
I grew up with 5 girls.
Yeah.
They were my cousins, but we were so close. They were like my sisters, and there were 5 of them. And they all had the
bangs,
the big
oh my gosh,
wall bangs or whatever.
Yes.
I guarantee you, that house went through 4 cans of Aquanet a day.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd get the curling iron, you'd curl it backwards, you'd pull some down, you'd tease it, you'd tease all this up here, you were good to go.
You should do your hair like that for the next episode.
Okay, I'll do it for the next episode. I'll do it.
And I'll do my hair just like I did in the 80s.
How's that?
Exactly the same as it is.
No, that's not exactly the same.
It was a little thicker.
It was a little thicker.
It was a little thicker back then, yeah. But I think the 80s were great. They were fun. People were taking things less serious. I'm sure. I mean, there were still problems. We still had issues, but anyway. I'm trying to think of what my dumbest movie is. I'm still stuck on that.
If you haven't seen either of those, then you don't have a dumbest movie yet. You have to go watch either Samurai Cop or Rock and Roll Nightmare.
They both sound like terrible movies.
You gotta watch them.
I can't wait to see them.
So
I'm probably just gonna take your word for it.
No, you gotta watch them.
I can't see myself.
You gotta
sitting
watch
through
them.
That.
I sat through them both. I was at work,
but you did it willingly.
I did
by choice.
When you don't want to work, you will sit down and watch some Samurai Cop or Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Looking for something to do.
Yeah, so I work in radio. I got a lot of downtime there in the studio. So
that's what I thought, but I still can't get you to return a phone call during the day. So I guess you don't have too much downtime.
No, I am so bad about that. I am so bad about returning phone calls. I have had 2 guys in the past 6 months not want to talk to me anymore because it takes me too long to reply. Yes.
You just tell them you're super busy?
Well, I get caught up in whatever I'm in bad movies online.
Don't say in work. You get caught up in horrible 80s movies.
I do. And sometimes I get caught up in Trailer Park Boys. Is my weakness.
Really?
Yes. I watch that so much at work. Yeah.
Well, by now you should have seen them all.
I have seen them all, but they never get old.
You just rewatching them?
I just rewatch them.
With Bubbles?
Bubbles, yeah. Yeah, and J-Rock.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've watched some of it. I haven't watched a whole bunch of it, but I've watched some.
You gotta watch all the episodes. Oh, and Eastbound and Down. That's another one. Have you seen that?
Danny McBride?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, one of my favorite shows, hands down, is Eastbound and Down.
Really?
Yes. I love that character.
Danny McBride is he's such a unique actor as far as like the person that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen 30 Minutes or Less? The movie?
Huh.
Where him and Nick Swardson,
mm-hmm.
they kidnap a guy, a pizza delivery boy,
mm-hmm.
and tell him he has to go rob a bank for them, and they strap a bomb to him.
That actually happened in real life.
Really?
That happened in real life, yeah. Like sometime back in the late 70s, 80s, there was, and I might be wrong with my decades there, but
before our time.
Before our time, but that actually did happen. That was the thing. So they made a comedy out of it?
Oh, it's hilarious, too.
Oh, I bet the original wasn't that funny. It never is.
I can't remember what the other 2 actors' names are. One of them is that Aziz Ansari.
Yes, yes.
The
Indian dude. The East Indian dude.
Yeah. Native Indian with a dot, not with a feather.
Indian with a dot, yeah.
I'm sure that's not politically correct to say.
I don't care, though.
I didn't mean it in an offensive way, so it shouldn't count, right?
Right.
Yeah, as long as there's no malice in your heart, you can say whatever you want.
True.
I just meant it in the most heartwarming...
ignorant way.
Ignorance is a good excuse to get away with stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be able to get away with just about anything.
So, we were talking earlier about Bigfoot. Okay, now Oklahoma's a big place for Bigfoot, right? So we were doing our internet researching and we found some Bigfoot erotica. We did.
True story.
True story.
It started out with the senator from wherever that was accused of liking Bigfoot porn.
Mm-hmm.
And then that caused us to go into a deep dive to see if it was actually a real thing.
Uh-huh.
And it is.
It is a real thing. The Pornhub's got a whole section of, what do they call it, monster smut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't surprise me that it's a real thing because people are into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and this actually might not be the strangest thing people are into, so. I mean, we talked about strange things last time.
Yeah, last time we talked about a dildo that lays eggs.
Yeah.
An alien dildo that lays eggs.
And I don't know what you were over there searching, but I was on Pornhub researching over here. And I found some interesting stuff. I think your search was probably a little bit more mild than mine.
Yeah, I stuck with Google.
You stuck with Google?
I stuck with Google. You went straight to Pornhub.
I did.
I guess if you're looking for porn-related things...
You go to Pornhub.
You go.
That is right.
Go to the source.
You go to the source.
But yeah, we did... Like I said, it doesn't surprise me that there's Bigfoot porn, but it does surprise me that there are people who still believe in Bigfoot.
Does it?
It does.
That's more believable than the Bigfoot porn.
Yeah, because porn-wise, I mean, there are people who are interested in doorknobs.
Really?
Like, sexually, people are weird.
Doorknobs?
I'm
Is
sure
that like a whole category?
There's somebody out there that's in love with this microphone.
Oh.
They got a thing for
Hey, I
this
can
microphone.
see that.
Yeah. But as far as believing in a large hairy animal that lives in the woods that nobody has any actually documented proof of, what are they doing?
I don't know. So people use like what they call sometimes is Bigfoot mating calls when they're out there hunting.
Yes.
Are these hunters, if Bigfoot was real, are they prepared? Are they prepared after they've used the Bigfoot mating call? What if it works, right?
Here comes this dude running through the woods with this microphone.
Yeah, are you prepared?
And he's ready to go.
That's when you would have to start running.
Oh,
and you
my
would
God.
never be able to tell anybody about that experience either.
Yeah, you don't want to. So how'd it go hunting Bigfoot?
Oh, we didn't see him. We didn't see him.
Yeah, we didn't see him. Why are you walking like that? Slipped and fell.
Yeah.
Slipped and fell.
You'd have to have
Terrible.
some excuse ready.
Yeah, you know, that's there used to be a deal that said, hey, if you went camping and you woke up and your butt hurt, would you tell anybody? And when people said no, so hey, you want to go camping?
So maybe that's why there's no like validated stories of Bigfoot, because maybe like all these idiots are out there using Bigfoot mating calls and they just can't tell the rest of their story.
We got to go back and look and see if they're all walking funny.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Scientific research needs to be lent to this.
Way off subject, but
Yeah.
I just remembered it. I got a joke for you.
Okay, what is it?
It's the greatest joke I've heard in a long time.
Okay.
What did one duck say to the other?
I don't know. What did they say?
Quack.
What? Am I supposed to fake laugh now? Because I really don't have the heart or energy for it at this point in the day.
This is the funniest joke ever.
Why?
Credit to Micah, by the way,
Why is it funny?
who's this tall.
Oh, it is funny and it's cute now.
Yeah.
Now that it's not just coming from you. It's
That
funny.
hurts.
It's funny.
That hurts. No, you don't get it?
No.
What would one duck say to another? They quack. That's all they do. They quack. So what did one duck say to the other? Quack.
Have you never heard the Duck in the Lemonade Stand song?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Because
Oh, my God. I need to drink more.
my daughter used to make me watch that all the time.
Duck in a lemonade stand.
It's just ingrained up here. It will never go away. Kind of like how Baby Shark is to some people.
Yes, I missed it. I missed the boat. Well, your kid's way younger than my kids. So, we had Roly Poly Oly. Did you ever hear that one?
No.
Roly Poly Oly was big. Bear in the Big Blue House.
No. Not her time.
Thank God we missed Blue's Clues.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I think Roly Poly Oly and Bear in the Big Blue House, those were the two main ones at our house.
How do you get a job, like, for Blue's Clues? Like, what acting expertise and experience do you have to be a part of that show?
Judging by the acting that I've seen on there, I'm going to say none.
So you just have to be able to talk really slow and be super excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. You just have to be able to talk like a moron that they think kids like.
Okay. Well, maybe we've been doing it wrong. Maybe we need to go audition for some children's shows.
You remember Blue's Clues?
I do.
I know it wasn't your
I
kid's
do.
age, but I remember them talking about how much what was his name, Steve? Steve. I remember them talking about how much that guy made. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money.
We got off topic.
We did. What were we talking
We
about?
were talking about Bigfoot raping people.
Okay.
Is that what you want to get back to Bigfoot
Sure,
raping?
let's get back to that subject.
So, I don't know if anybody's. I know you have, because I know that we've looked at stuff together as far as Bigfoot. These guys going out they're doing the calls, and it would be a whole lot more believable if they were like making like a duck call is very specific. A moose call is specific, but they're yelling for Bigfoot and they're just going, "Ooh!" like just
Is
as
that what
loud as
they're
they
doing?
can. And then they take a stick and beat on a tree.
Right. If that doesn't work, you can just beat a stick on a tree, and he supposedly will.
Yeah, and they wait for him to respond like it's Bigfoot Morse code or something.
Right.
It's the dumbest thing.
They
ever.
always have some of the most not credible witnesses. Like everybody from Oklahoma.
Anybody's got 3 teeth.
Yeah, they got 3 teeth. One time, what is that? What is the PBS. One time PBS did a documentary, and I watched it because I was homesick. And they did a whole Oklahoma documentary.
Yeah.
And they did nothing but interview people from this town in eastern Oklahoma. And one of the people they interviewed was an 8-year-old boy. Like, at what point is an 8-year-old boy a credible witness for anything?
Think about the other people that they interviewed, though.
Oh, yeah.
The 8-year-old was probably the most credible.
He probably
witness.
was the most credible, actually. They had some interesting people on there.
Weirdos.
Yeah.
Straight weirdos.
Mm-hmm.
I get so frustrated because I think these people, they start out doing it, maybe it's just a joke, maybe it's to be different, maybe they've heard some stories.
Yeah.
But then they get out there, at some point in time, like one of the last ones I watched, there's 3 morons that go out in the woods and they do this shit. At some point in time, sitting around a campfire, these 3, one of them has to go, you guys really don't believe in this shit, do you? Like, we're just out here for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that's cool. Like, if somebody's got together and go, hey, this is code for when we're telling our wives what we're doing, we're going to go Bigfoot.
Look for Bigfoot,
we're going to go Bigfoot hunting. Really, it's just code for, hey, we just want to go out in the woods and drink beer.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in that bad of need of attention to fake a Bigfoot sighting?
No.
Or to go look for Bigfoot?
No. When I get in bad need for attention, I take on dares. I just streak down the road or something like that. Normal stuff.
Normal stuff.
Just run down the street naked.
38-year-old man naked, normal stuff.
38. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate you shaving a few years off for me there. I'll take it.
So, Bigfoot.
Now, in our conversations, I've heard, do you believe in Bigfoot?
All right. On the surface, I want to say absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down inside, I want to say yes. I want to say I do.
I
want to believe in Bigfoot.
You don't believe that it's out there, but you want.
I want to believe.
You want there to be a mythical creature.
I want to believe. There's probably was that centaur running around somewhere too?
I don't know what that
is. It's like half man, half horse. They probably made a porn
yeah.
about that. That's probably on porn.
I think I had high school gym with that kid.
Did you?
Yeah. He came in swinging like a horse. Anyway. Jesus Christ. Had to get out of his way. He'd hit you with that thing.
But why is Bigfoot so popular and centaurs aren't popular?
I don't know. It's a whole lot easier to fake a hoof print than it is creating a Bigfoot print.
Yeah.
You just run around with horseshoes on a stick and stick them in your ground and go, oh, we saw a centaur. It's a
giant penis print in the ground.
Yeah. You're dragging a stick in between them and you're just going, so it's just a trench. We did the mating call and this sucker just come plowing through.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how do these weirdos pick what bullshit story they're going to try to convince people of.
I don't know. In this part of the world, it's mainly Bigfoot. Other parts, it may be...
Bigfoot's real popular northeast, too.
Right, but they call him something else up there.
Sasquatch.
And then there's Yeti, which is, up in the colder parts. And
Yetis and the abominable snowman, which I guess is like the cousin to the Sasquatch.
I guess it's all the same thing, basically.
Just one lives in colder weather.
And one's white, yeah, because he can hide in snow.
Don't make it about race.
Oh, come on. One is white, though, so he can hide in snow.
Yeah, and the other one's brown, so that he can hide in brown places.
Yeah. Well, Oklahoma's really all brown, really.
Not right now. It's not right now. It's
been rainy.
Underwater.
It has been super rainy. The creek behind my house is full. So if you caught a Bigfoot, what would you do?
If I caught it?
Yeah.
Or killed it?
Okay, well, let's say kill it. What if you killed it?
I'm sitting on top of it.
Uh-huh.
And calling somebody.
Are you?
To come take pictures.
Then what are you doing afterwards?
Not walking away.
Uh-huh.
I'm becoming famous.
I'm becoming famous too, but then I'm going to make myself a Bigfoot rug for my living room floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
You get morbid real quick.
No, come on.
Nobody else would have one.
No, just me. Just me.
Would you invite people over to look at your rug?
Oh, I would. I would invite people over.
You seem like that kind of girl. It's just an inappropriate joke.
So how did your weekend go, Matt?
What did we do this weekend?
To work, just work a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I really did much this weekend. we knew that the storms and stuff were coming, so we went ahead and. We were already working.
You were the fireworks.
Yeah, we already had stands set up, and so we were out there dealing with the rain. Because night number 1, we got flooded.
Jeez.
Oh, and even so, I was a dumbass, and I tried to pull my truck around. And got my truck stuck. And I was like, I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna leave it there. I'll get it pulled out tomorrow. We had my wife's car, so I wasn't worried. I didn't need the vehicle. Well, then I didn't realize that it was gonna become a flood that night.
Yeah.
So I had a river flowing through my truck.
Oh no!
And
did it mess up anything electrical in there?
The speakers in my doors don't work.
Yeah. Well, it could have been worse.
Oh yeah, it definitely could have been worse.
Always.
I had to take all 4 wheels off to clear the debris out from around the brake pads and the calipers.
Jeez, it got stuck.
That was bad.
Like you got stuck like a woman stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, like somebody who was not paying attention and just said, "Oh, I can go right here."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. Everybody's got a bonehead move every once in a while. Mine just happen more often.
Do they?
I feel like they do. I feel like there's a lot more stories about me being dumb than other people being dumb.
Really?
Yes, I do dumb shit.
Well, yeah, you probably have more dumb stories than I do.
I do.
Just look like that kind of guy.
Thanks.
As for the Bigfoot rug joke. My weekend was horrible. Thank you for asking.
No, it wasn't.
It was horrible.
No, it wasn't.
Why?
Because you lost weight.
I lost weight.
Yeah, you lost, I'm going to guess, 185 pounds?
Oh, no, he was only 160.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seems kind of scrawny.
Well, yeah, and you can imagine a guy that size, his penis isn't very, big, so.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Is that where we're going?
No, we're not going to go there, I promise.
Lee.
I promise. But yeah, I spent the majority of the weekend crying because my ex-husband, who had cheated on me, brings the woman he cheated on me with to the opening night of our daughter's play. That was a pleasant experience. Then the woman had the nerve to call me, to text me the next day. She told me God had sent him to her as a blessing. Now, I am not really sure that that's how God works in Christianity. I'm thinking maybe she needs to go back and reread her Bible or quit smoking what she's smoking. But, yeah, she actually had the nerve to tell me that. Yeah.
You should have asked her, is that the God from the same Bible that says, "Thou shalt not commit adultery"?
I don't think she read that far into the Bible.
Are we talking about the same book?
I doubt we are.
Wow.
She had she looks like the type of person that had to have the children's version, so the illustrated stories. Yeah, so she probably doesn't understand.
That's the kind I've got.
Do you?
Picture book. Man.
So that was my weekend.
Well, you handled it well.
I don't know about that. I got on Facebook.
You're not in jail.
Yeah, I'm not in jail.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Guess that is something to be proud about.
See, you just gotta. Everything is good if you look at it from the right angle.
True, and after I made that Facebook post, I got like 200-300 new Facebook friends.
Yeah,
I won the internet that day.
It was popular.
It was popular.
It was popular. But one door closes, another one opens.
Does it?
Yes.
I've been running into closed doors for a long damn time.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
This is about to get inspirational, folks.
Open your eyes.
Open my eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to do that.
The better things are out there. I'm not going inspirational.
Okay. Because inspirational quotes when someone's in a bad place.
But if you drink that, it's cheaper than therapy.
It is cheaper than therapy, and that's
By the way, you should like, share, and subscribe.
When you're in a bad place and someone's sharing an inspirational quote, it's like, oh my God, go die. Like, just get away from me.
We've got some friends, and I do, like, they bicker at each other all the time.
Yeah.
And whenever they get to bickering at each other, I'll interrupt them to ask them monotonous questions about nothing.
Yeah.
Does it work? Just to get them to stop arguing. Oh, it pisses her off. Which makes it even more entertaining for me.
What does it do to the guy?
He thinks it's funny because he knows exactly what I'm doing.
So
he thinks it's funny.
They're fighting, and give me a question you ask. What do you ask?
Like they'll just be bickering. I mean, going at, and they've been going at it long enough that I'm like, oh, Can you guys just quit arguing? And I'll be like, hey, what do you use when you make potato salad? Do you make the mustard kind? Like
deep thoughts.
Yeah, and they're just like, huh?
The best way to diffuse an argument, you need to write a counseling book, like a relationship book over here.
But all it did was divert the argument, because now she wants to argue with me about interrupting.
Oh, okay.
Which is okay. It's okay.
You didn't accomplish much there, did you? That is a pretty good tactic, though.
It's so funny to me. It amuses me so much to do that to people.
But I do have to say, if you're making potato salad and you use mayonnaise, it's not going to be at my family dinner.
No.
No, I got to have the mustard.
I will do that to strangers.
What? The
interrupt them when they're arguing.
Yeah?
I've been in Walmart and seen people that were arguing and walked up and asked them where they got something that was in their buggy.
So you're just like this wonderful little happy...
That's how I think of myself. Just a wonderful
argument
guy.
diffuser.
That's right. That's right. I just walk through life looking to diffuse bad situations.
Aww. Well, I'm not like that. I mean, if I see someone arguing, I'm gonna watch it a little bit. I'm gonna enjoy it a little bit.
You're just gonna find you a good seat?
Yeah, I'm gonna find a good seat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be all like, hey guys.
Here's people watching is one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh God, yes. Best place for you to people watch.
Walmart is big.
All right, I got a good one for you.
Okay.
Mountain View Horse Sale.
Been there.
Yeah, that is a good people watching place.
That is yeah, that's an interesting one too. But I love the reason I like Walmart is because there's no telling what's going to come through.
You have to be at the Walmart on Sheridan though.
Yeah. I don't know, the Walmart on 82nd now has gotten, or on 67th has gotten, because more people are traveling out there. I think in the beginning, when it was still brand new, it was kind of just for the people on that side of town.
Yeah, the hoity-toity area. Yeah. So the weirdos are migrating further.
That lets you know what kind of town Lawton is. We have a poor Walmart and a rich Walmart. They're both still Walmart.
Yeah.
But
in the rich Walmart, the prices are actually a little bit more expensive. Have you ever paid attention to that?
No.
Yeah, just a little bit more. I'm going to the poor Walmart.
I pay zero attention to stuff like that. And it's not because I've got money. It's just because, like, hey, she sent me in here to get this. I don't even look what I just get it.
And get out.
It's like it's not like I'm not going to get it because it's $1 more. Nope. She sent me in here to get it. I'm not leaving until I got it.
No, I mean, if you have to go grocery shopping, go big. Like, make it interesting. Like, go on the day the government releases their, the EBD, whatever their cards, the food stamp cards. Go,
You call it a DVD card?
I don't even know what I called it.
I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Go in the evening when you could go pretty much anytime.
1st and 15th.
The 1st and the 15th.
Woo! It's great. Which I used to work at Taft Grocery. Did you ever go to Taft Grocery?
I have not been in there, but I know that when my father was a child, they went there a lot. He's talked about it a lot.
Right. I worked there for a few years, and it was a real big food stamp store. And we had really good meat.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked back in the meat section, cutting meat. And we did meat packs, and there was all these good deals on meat. 1st and the 15th, for 4 or 5 days after each of those, we would have a line out the door of people waiting. Yeah, it was slammed busy. You want to talk about a good place to people watch. And I was on the clock while I was people watching. It was amazing. We had a girl, I say a girl, she was grown, but she was special. Like, for real special. And her name was Jeannie, but she told everybody her name was Kilowatts. She told everybody that she was an alien.
Okay.
Sweetest girl ever. She was super sweet. But she was out there.
And there was a guy like that in my hometown who wore a paper tinfoil hat and had like stuff all around his yard because he was trying to, make the aliens stay away. Yeah, I guess you can never be careful.
Yeah.
Never too careful.
You never know. But Kilowatts would, when you came up the aisle to the meat counter, was all that was our dairy cooler. And she would open it and get out a stick of cream cheese and open that dude and eat it like a Klondike bar while she was sitting in line.
That is so gross.
That
is so gross.
Ridiculous.
People will do that with butter. There's like weirdos that will do that with butter too.
Yeah, I've heard. We had one of our kids one time. I caught him eating a stick of butter.
Kids do that.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
My sister used to do that. They had to hide the butter from her. She'd be in the refrigerator.
Problem by the time you're 10. Stop eating the butter. Yeah. Man, there was lots of interesting people. There was a mother and son that both shopped in there. Both of them were prostitutes.
Oh,
it was a mother and son,
going.
And they were both female prostitutes.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So just around the corner from Taft was a gas station. And I was talking to the guy, his parents owned it, and he was telling me some crazy stories about that part of town and the things that he saw. And I was like, okay, what's your craziest story? And he was like, well, there was a transvestite prostitute that used to come in there, and he always had a mini skirt on, and you could just see all his stuff. He didn't bother to do anything with it, and he always would try to come in and get free drinks, and they let it go, because they didn't want to mess with him. Well, he said he'd had enough, and he approached the person one time and was like, hey, you can't do this anymore. We've been letting you come in here and get free drinks. You can't do it anymore. So this dude busts out into like full karate with his little mini skirt on. And I said, what did you do? Did you fight him? And he said, no. He said, I was running around the store trying to get away from him. He was like, you can't fight somebody that doesn't have underwear on.
Yeah.
And you can't. You really can't.
Nobody wants to fight with a naked guy.
No, nobody wants to fight with a naked
I know
person.
exactly. His name was Terrence.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was the same one that came into our store all the time.
Oh, so this like mythical creature is now real.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Terrence. And his mom's name was Kay.
Terrence?
And everybody called her Miss Kay. She has got to be in her 70s.
Still out there working.
And
cheers to you, Mrs. K.
I promise you could still. She's still open for business.
Jeez. So we have a list of things that we've been talking about, and we've gone from Bigfoot to now transvestite prostitutes to people watching. But I want to know some of your most embarrassing experiences, Matt. The ones that you haven't told people yet. That's what I want to know. I want to put you on the spot here.
Like what?
Most embarrassing thing. It can be a bathroom story, anything that has ever happened to you.
Most embarrassing. I one time, another Walmart story. I one time was in Walmart and decided, which, by the way, I feel like the idea behind this is probably popular with a lot of people.
Okay.
I like to let one slip in a Walmart aisle and then just walk past people. Right?
Yeah.
And it's funny. And then you get to the other end of the aisle and you turn around and look and you watch people go, who was that? I tried to do that one time and it was a surprise.
It backfired.
Yeah. Shotgun blast in my britches. Now I have to walk out of because I'm walking towards the front and I'm doing a funny walk. The kind of walk you do when you shit your pants.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to decide, do I go to the bathroom and try to clean myself up, or do I just
continue my shopping?
Continuing shopping was definitely not on the table.
You would have just fit in with everybody already there.
Oh my God, I would not have been able to stand it myself. So my two options were go to the bathroom and try to clean up, or just walk straight out the door and just go get in the truck and go home. And I chose to just go home because I was afraid. Here's my deal. Unfortunately, I've had a shit my pants more than once story, okay? Once you pull those pants down, it is almost impossible to convince yourself to pull them back up.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I just right out the door, got in the truck and drove home. And I don't know how many you think letting one slip and walking past people's bad? Actually shit your pants and walk past people.
That's the ultimate right there.
You just get to the front door and turn around and go, it was me! and just
take a
walk
bow.
out.
Just take a bow.
Just walk out. That was a horrible one.
Do you remember the supermarket sweep where people would like that game show they had when we were little? People would have like 30 seconds to go get like everything they could get. I never thought that was interesting, but if you included the element of diarrhea in there, and you were like 30 seconds with explosive diarrhea, get everything you can get.
You gotta fill the cart before you fill your pants. Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would be a good show right there.
I think NBC should pick that up.
That's should.
That's a great idea.
It's a really good idea. I'm surprised they haven't picked it up yet. There's so many shameful things on TV.
That's probably that's a bad one. I was trying to think of some other one, but I've always been really hard to embarrass, except for like with my kid. My daughter is really good at embarrassing me, but it's not anything that would be that entertaining to other people. It just embarrasses me.
Right.
Like if my daughter talks about, which she's 21 years old, if she talks about anything having to do with her sex life, I get her red as your shirt.
Will you?
Yes.
You're out.
She's 21 years old, lives with her boyfriend, and in my mind, she's still a perfect little virgin angel.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not true, but I can't help it. And she'll talk about, there's no doubt, like, she makes shit up. Because she knows that she gets
just to get
to you.
So
she'll make shit up just to embarrass me.
I used to do that to my dad. My dad had this thing with periods. He would not talk about your menstrual cycle. So if I needed extra money, I would just walk up to my dad and I'd be like, I started my period. And he'd be like, and he would like get into his wallet and he'd be like, here, I need my change back. And it's like a 50. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And he wouldn't get his change back because if he brought it up again, we'd have to bring up my period, you know.
Yeah.
So, I got extra money that way as a teenager.
You made good money that way, didn't you?
I did.
You had like 6 periods a month?
I did, and he was not, like, in that place to be like, wait a second, you had 3 already.
Yeah. We need to take you to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you have a sister.
I have a sister.
Is it just you two girls? Or is there
No,
other siblings?
I have a worthless brother, yeah. Don't look at me like
you
that.
Just said brother.
I have a brother.
Are y'all all fairly close in age?
I'm 4 years older than my sister and 10 years younger than my little brother. Or older. I'm 10 years older than my little brother. Excuse me.
So you're the oldest?
Yes, I am the oldest.
How do you think? Man, that's a pretty big gap though between you and him.
10 years. Yes.
Wow, that's a pretty big gap. Because that's why I was wondering. Did you notice? How big of a difference was it between, like, oldest child, middle child, youngest child, as far as interaction with your parents?
Well, interaction with my parents, I don't really know. But, I mean, my sister and I fought a lot because we're closer in age. And then my brother didn't really fight with anybody because he was so much younger. He was in his own little space, his own little world.
Yeah, you couldn't be 10 and fight with a toddler.
No, it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
So I've been told, right. It makes you look like a bad person.
So you've been told? Like somebody had to tell you that?
Hey, there's times I would fight with a toddler. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I've been in a fight with a toddler. They won. They won. I don't know. I always hear people tell jokes. My son, my middle son, or my middle kid, is one of my sons. He always makes the joke saying that he's got middle child syndrome.
Oh my God, that's all I heard about from my sister growing up. Is this a real thing?
I guess people. If anything, I would think that the oldest child has it the worst because you're the oldest, so now they expect you. Like as soon as the second one is born, the first one has to grow up.
Right.
Because now you have to help. Because we got to concentrate on taking care of this one. We don't have as much time to take care of you. So you got to be self-sufficient.
What my dad told me, I noticed there was a big difference in the way I was raised. My sister was raised. My brother was raised.
Look over there.
It is.
You're good.
I am good, Matt.
Okay.
Not quite a big drinker like you are. Let's finish off the bottle. I asked my dad, why things are so different for them. Why? And he's like, well, because you were the first, and we made all our mistakes on you. That's how it works. Okay.
That's not a bad answer.
No, it's a truthful answer. Maybe they'll offer compensation for it one day. I'm the oldest child. I need government money to get over my issues.
When you have a kid, It's very, very quick. Your first kid, I don't care how old you are when you have your first kid, it's a harsh reality really fast on how much you don't know.
It's intimidating.
Because there's obviously no manual.
Nope.
You can get pamphlets from the doctor who was written by people who never had kids.
Oh my God, I know. You have the baby and you're in the hospital maybe 2 days. Everything's going well and good, and then it's like they send you home and they taught you how to change diaper once, which I guess you're supposed to learn how to do that before. The parenting classes are for the birthing classes and
Lamaze class.
Lamaze, that's what they're called.
Biggest waste of time.
They are
ever.
a big waste of time. They are.
I remember we went to Lamaze class with our first one because we didn't know, so we were just like, we got to get all the knowledge we can.
Yeah.
So I obviously had no experience in raising kids, birthing kids, nothing. They told us to bring a bowl with us.
A bowl?
Like, on your next class, bring a big bowl. So we did. They filled it with ice and then filled it with water. And said, all right, dads, put your fingers, about half of your fingers, in this bowl of water. And when it gets to the point where your fingers hurt because they're so cold, think about that and compare it to how the mother of the child is going to feel having contractions.
Okay, no.
As a young man,
no.
At 17, I think I was 17? 17? No, I was 18. At 18 years old, I knew, this is bullshit. There's no way that my cold fingers are any comparison.
Those assholes.
To a woman's contractions.
No, there's nothing close to that.
So, that was the class. I looked at her and I was like, this is dumb. Like, why are we here? The breathing thing is stupid.
I didn't use any of that when I was laying there panicking.
No. Like, we had an awesome nurse. Her name was April. I'll never forget it. Awesome nurse. And she was just like, just remind her to keep breathing. So I'm holding her hand. I'm like, hey, don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. You got a cool rag. Dampen it. Like, breathe. And she's like, all right, we're about ready to push. Are you ready to push? And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh, you can do it. They should send you to cheerleading camp.
Yeah.
Not Lamaze class.
And also, they've got this all wrong because when you're pissed and you're stressed out and you're pushing this watermelon out of your vagina, it's not going to be like, just breathe. Okay, honey. No. I was like, get the fuck away from me. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Were you an angry birther?
I was angry.
Tana was an emotional birther. She cried the entire time. She's crying, I can't do it. I said, fuck, you don't have a choice. There's no, like, you can't put it off. You can't go, we'll change our mind. We'll come back next week.
Put it back in for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll come back next week. There's none of that. But yeah, she was an emotional birther.
You want a good parenting class? What you need to do is take people down the cereal aisle when the kids are there. Like, just constantly do nothing but scream while the person is walking down the aisle in their ear. And then, maybe set some obstacles up for them. This might prepare you for the stress of parenthood, like, a little bit. But that'll give you a good idea what it's like. Lamaze class is not a good idea of that.
I tell my daughter my daughter watches her aunt's 3 kids that are like 10, 7, and 2. Somewhere in there. I might have got those numbers off a little bit. And they don't know how to act, those 3. They're not well-behaved children. I love them to death, but they are not well behaved. And my daughter babysits them during the day, all week, while her aunt is at work. And all the time I ask my daughter, so, y'all thinking about having kids yet? She goes, hell no. I don't want nothing to do with children after watching these kids. I said, babysitting other people's kids that don't know how to act is the best birth control that there is.
It is the best birth control.
I guarantee you don't miss.
It is.
You don't miss one day of taking that.
I didn't babysit a lot. I babysat once in my entire life, okay? That's it. I know a lot of females are like babysitting a bunch by the time they're 17, 18.
Shit, I babysit more than that.
Yeah, I didn't. I did not. And so I had no idea about children, but, they could have, like, made me walk through one of those old-fashioned, like, car washes that beat the shit out of you with the brushes and everything, and,
Try to prepare you?
Try to prepare me. Scream some things over the loudspeaker there over in the car wash, and then I'd get a pretty good idea of, Hey.
In the what?
The car wash. I am sorry. I have